They're clearing a crash on the outbound lower, the southbound Deegan, best of it out. Lincoln 15 to 20 in, 10 out. Holland 20 in from the Skyway, better off than Newark Bay. Outbound Holland, no more than 10. Traffic is sponsored by Advantage Chevrolet. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
The all-new Advantage Chevrolet will deliver your new car right to your doorstep. Get a deal you haven't seen in years, like a new Equinox lease for just $99 a month. Visit us on 86th Street in Bay Ridge. Find new roads.
Criminal charges for 3 Bronx parents after a pair of near tragedies this week. Their babies almost died, police say, after ingesting drugs. The first incident happened Monday afternoon when a woman rushed her 2-year-old girl to St. Barnabas Hospital with overdose symptoms after she swallowed an unknown substance, police say. The toddler survived after being given the OD reversing drug naloxone, and an officer who later went to her home on East 181st Street allegedly found what appeared to be illegal pills and cocaine on the dining room table. The mother, 37-year-old Cassidy Reed, is now facing drug and child endangerment charges. Now, the other close call happened the very next morning. Police say they found another toddler unconscious in an apartment on Honeywell Avenue after she ingested drugs. The 18-month-old was also given naloxone at St. Barnabas and is now stable, but both of her parents were arrested. 36-year-old Karan Powell and 28-year-old Malkeisha Durant facing charges including reckless endangerment and drug possession. Well, bullets flying this morning in Brooklyn, and when the smoke cleared near a subway stop on Franklin Avenue in Crown Heights, 2 teenagers had been hit. Police don't think they're the ones the gunmen were actually after.
The gunshots were easily heard for a few blocks around. I was like, something bad happened.
What's going through your mind when you hear that?
I just hope everybody was safe. I didn't know if it was on the street. I didn't know where it came from.
This man worked security in a nearby apartment building. A 16-year-old girl and 17-year-old boy were hit, shot inside a bodega at the busy corner of Eastern Parkway and Franklin Avenue.
I went outside to try to help one of the victims. I told the under pain.
Adnan Ahmed is the bodega's manager.
I was holding the door. She was feeling a little dizzy. I gave her water.
The NYPD says the teenagers were not the intended targets. They are in stable condition. Police say the 2 shooters also look to be teenagers. Steve Burns, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Crown Heights.
Meanwhile, in Queens, police are now questioning a man who allegedly shot and killed a guy who tried to hold him up overnight on a street in Kew Gardens. They're trying to decide whether or not to charge the would-be victim.
Police say a 32-year-old man tried to rob a 65-year-old guy, clearly not knowing that his would-be victim was carrying a gun. The guy with the knife shot dead. Mohammed works at a nearby deli.
He messed with the wrong guy. That's what I would say. You know, a 33-year-old coming onto a 65 trying to rob him at knife point, and he had to carry out.
It happened at 2 a.m. along 82nd Avenue by Queens Boulevard. Jasminder lives on the block. Is this a safe block?
Generally it is. It is, yeah.
You surprised this would happen?
No, it is New York City.
Roger Stern, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Kew Gardens, Queens.
And no word yet from the NYPD whether the armed would-be victim is licensed to carry a firearm. Well, AccuWeather calling for increasingly cloudy skies tonight, especially along the coast, low 59 in Midtown, but as low as the 40s in some outlying areas. Then some early sun tomorrow, followed by a mainly sunny afternoon. We'll have a warmer day as well with a high of 83. Right now it is 72 degrees with sunshine in Midtown. Winds news time 7:06. A rally today outside City Hall calling on lawmakers to ban the sale of menthol cigarettes in the 5 boroughs. It was pulled together by groups including Menthol Kills NYC, which says menthol products are often designed to attract young people of color and leave them addicted to tobacco. The proposed ban would only target retailers who sell the items, not those who use or possess them. Well, several retired city workers are reportedly suing Mayor Adams to block City Hall from forcing them into a privatized version of Medicare, one that would save the city some big bucks. The Daily News reports that the mayor has devised a new plan that eliminates traditional Medicare as an option for the city's roughly 250,000 retirees and force them into a private Medicare Advantage plan as their only option. And according to the Daily News, the suit calls the new plan a deceptive bait and switch, because private insurers can deny coverage for medically necessary procedures, something that's not an issue with traditional Medicare. The Mayor Adams tried to privatize retiree health insurance last year, but was blocked by judges because that plan would have hit retirees with a penalty fee if they opted out and chose to stay on traditional Medicare. With this plan, they can't opt out, so no penalty. Well, a community down the Jersey Shore is cracking down on rowdy crowds of drunken young people. Ocean City adopted some new rules this week, shutting down beaches at 8 p.m. each night, banning backpacks from the boardwalk after that hour, and moving up the underage curfew from 1 a.m. to 11 p.m. Some other communities had new rules in effect over the 3-day weekend, and they seem to have worked.
Ordley and North Beach and Toms River announced their crackdown on pop-up parties and unruly behavior before the Memorial Day weekend began, and saw a drop in incidents, said Mayor Mo Hill.
I think we came through the weekend in good shape. You got to remember it's prom season, it's Memorial Day, so there was a lot going on over at the beachfront.
Large gatherings of teens prompted the police chief to keep a curfew put in place during COVID. A beach closure is being considered that would exempt fishing.
You don't want to cut down on that form of recreation, so we're treading a little more softly on the beachfront.
The weekend saw the same problems as in summers past in Ocean City, where officials are considering closing the beach after dark and banning backpacks. Marla Diamond, 10-10 wins on 92.3 FM.
Well, the hard-fought battle, that is, over raising the U.S. debt limit to prevent the nation from defaulting isn't over just yet. Tonight on Capitol Hill, the House holding a critical vote on the compromise agreement. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy insists he will have the votes needed to ensure approval, even though some of his own fellow Republicans say they are vocally opposed.
If the bill clears the House, it will then be up to the Senate. I cannot stress enough that we have no margin for error.
When this agreement reaches the Senate, I'll be proud to support it without delay.
The Treasury Secretary says if the debt ceiling doesn't get raised, the country will run out of money to pay its bills June 5th.
And that's the economists would cause financial upheaval here and around the world. That report from correspondent Skylar Henry. Now, it isn't only right-wing Republicans who've been bad-mouthing the debt limit compromise, so have some progressive Democrats. Quick approval ahead of that June 5th deadline would mean no interruption in payments for Social Security recipients, military veterans, and others who get government checks. Winds News Time 709, traffic and AccuWeather on the way.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
All it takes is one visit to Ray Cattina Lexus and you'll understand why it stands above the competition. Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth take as much pride in their customer service as they do in the vehicles they sell. If you're ready to buy or just browsing, Ray Cattina Lexus has the finest selection of new and pre-owned vehicles with attractive lease and finance options just for you. For a friendly, no-pressure sales experience, visit Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth near Eatontown.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
The Winds News Time 711. It is time for traffic and transit. Here's Greg Wright.
Well, here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound George, 15 to 20 up, 10 to 15 down. Southbound Deegan's the best of what you've got right now, getting you out of town. Everything else still with some work to do. Lincoln Tunnel's about 15 and 10 out. 15 at the inbound Holland off the Skyway, but better from the Newark Bay extension. Outbound Holland, you're in pretty good shape. Outbound lower level of the Queensboro Bridge is at a standstill. Upper level you want, or the Midtown Tunnel, better play for your money either way. BQE still a mess either way to the Brooklyn Bridge, but the crash on the ramp from the eastbound BQE to the citybound Brooklyn Bridge, yeah, That's all gone. Eastbound LIE, that's the worst way home at this hour through Queens. And traffic is sponsored by 7-Eleven. At 7-Eleven, their hot coffee is fresh or it's free. They don't compromise on their premium roasts, and neither should you. Hot 7-Eleven coffee is guaranteed fresh or it's free. Offer good through 12/31/23. Visit participating store where coffee was purchased for details. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report at 7:21. 10 Winds on 92.3 FM.
And time now for the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson.
And Donna, there's going to be a mainly clear start to the night tonight, but then clouds will increase a bit, especially closer to the coast. We'll drop down to 59 tonight in the city. It'll be the 40s in some of the coolest outlying areas. Now, tomorrow we'll start off with some clouds, but by the midday and afternoon hours should turn out mainly sunny. We'll be warmer with a high of 83. Partly cloudy for tomorrow night, low 62 in the city. It'll be in the 50s in many suburbs, and then it will be a hot day Friday out ahead of a cold front that will be approaching from the north. We'll get up to a high close to 90 on Friday with a mostly sunny sky. Now, as the front gets closer, we could see a thunderstorm in spots later Friday into Friday night. And then behind the front, a lot cooler for the weekend. Mostly cloudy and breezy Saturday. We'll probably be dodging a couple of showers. A high near 70 on Saturday. Breezy and cool Sunday with times of clouds and sun and a high of 67. Right now we have 70 degrees and sunny in Midtown. We're going down to 59. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Winds news time is 7:13.
If you're on Medicaid, the Essential Plan, or Child Health Plus, these programs will no longer renew automatically. Here's how to stay covered. Start by updating your contact information on your health insurance account. Then look for your renewal notice and respond by your renewal deadline. For expert help with renewing your health insurance or more information, visit nyc.gov/health/health coverage.
Con Edison is committed to providing 100% renewable energy to all New Yorkers. That means more solar, wind, and energy efficiency programs, and a much smaller carbon footprint, like net zero by 2040 small. Together, we're building the kind of clean energy future everyone can feel, breathe, enjoy, and pass on to the next generation. Learn more at coned.com/cleanenergy.
Hey, Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Tuesday, June 20th, when the Yankees take on the Seattle Mariners for a great promotional giveaway. It's Yankees Beach Towel Night, courtesy of Wendy's. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees Beach Towel, courtesy of Wendy's. For tickets, log on to yankees.com/tickets. Again, it's Yankees Beach Towel Night on June 20th against the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss out. Visit yankees.com/tickets today.
Winds news time at 7:15. Well, Sean Diddy Combs is going to court. The hip-hop entrepreneur has filed a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against the spirits company Diageo for allegedly giving his vodka and tequila brands a short shrift. The suit claims the company didn't follow through on promises to promote his products and says they limited distribution to urban neighborhoods because he's black. This as they showered resources on other celebrity black brands, allegedly, like George Clooney's Casamigos tequila. The firm denies the allegations of racism and calls it, quote, a business dispute. Diageo owns more than 200 brands and has been collaborating with Diddy since 2007. The firm denies those allegations. 1,000 nurses who work at New York Presbyterian Brooklyn Methodist Hospital, that is, you can walk off the